My name is Wei Ying, a product engineer of ArcGIS Experience Builder. Today with me are Jian Wang, a core developer of this product, and Jian Xia, the product manager. We'd like to welcome you to this session, Designing Apps with Style and Layout in ArcGIS Experience Builder. In this session, we will cover the following topics. We will discuss the page and the difference between two page types in Experience Builder. We will explain the layout concepts. I know many of you may be confused about it when using the product. We will try to clear it up in this session. We can categorize the layouts to three different types: simple, compound, and composite. We will explain the difference of those layouts. We will also talk about the size and position settings of a widget, which covers the alignment, units, width, and height modes. We will also discuss the app responsiveness in different screen sizes. Finally, at the end of the presentation, you will have a chance to raise any questions, and we will communicate with you in live. Now let's get started. First, page. Experience Builder has two page types, scrolling and full screen. So what's the difference and how would you use them? What is a scrolling page? It is like a skyscraper. You know, a skyscraper is a tall building. People can visit one floor at a time, and you need to use elevator to visit other floors. Similarly, a scrolling page is a long page, and user can only view one part of the page at a time, but you can scroll to navigate more. In a scrolling page, the content is arranged top to down. You create content flow by flow, that is block by block. Experience Builder provides multiple templates to help you build the flow. We have block templates and also screen group templates. We will explain these two later. Now, Jian will bring us a demo about the scrolling page.
In a scrolling page, things are organized from top to bottom, block by block. You can drag a widget from the widget list to the empty area. A block will be created automatically. Or you can add blocks from the block templates. We provide 6 block templates. And also you can add screen groups from the screen group panel. There's no boundary at the bottom of the screen page. You can add as many blocks as you wish. Also, you can drag widgets to the existing block. And if you want to adjust the order of the block, you can drag the handler to move to adjust the order, and also you can use the up and down arrow to change the order of the block. This is an example of scrolling page. You can use scroll bar to navigate the page.
Thanks, Jian. Then, what is a full screen page? It is like a single-story house, which has only one floor and no elevator. Similarly, a full screen page has only one block that is full screen, and the user won't have scrolling navigation. In a full screen page, you can place widgets randomly, just like staking notes on a whiteboard. However, you have to decide the size and the position. The widgets can be overlapped. Let's see how it works.
There is no strict rule on a full screen page. You can drag a widget on the page and change the size. You can drag to put the widget anywhere you want. But the full screen page has boundaries. You cannot make the widget out of the boundary. We provided several useful tools to help you align the widget. You can align the widget to the left, horizontal center, or to the right, to the top, vertical center, and to the bottom. Also, you can set the widget to take the full width, full height, or the full size. The widgets of a full-screen page may be overlapped with each other. For example, here the small image is covered by the larger image. We provide 4 menu items to change their Z order. You can send a widget back or move it front. Here is an app created from a full-screen template. You can float some widgets on top of the map.
Next, let's talk about the layout. First, some simple layouts. Usually, there are 3 different ways to organize your content elements: vertically, horizontally, or randomly. In Experience Builder, a column widget is a container that can help organize content vertically. You can expand the vertical grids by just adding more widgets to a column. The size of each widget can be manually resizable. And you can adjust the gap between the grids and the paddings around. The alignment of the inside elements is also adjustable. In a column, you may arrange the elements in different ways. Align them to the start, to the end, or align them just in the center. Now let's see a demo to learn the details.
A column layout is a container. You can drag a widget into the column layout. They are organized vertically. You can drag a widget to change their order. The column has several vertical alignments. You can align them from top to bottom or bottom to top, centered, or you can change the space between them. The gap means the space between 2 widgets. Also, you can change the paddings. The padding is around the column layout, inside of the border. The column may have scroll bar if the height of all widgets is bigger than the column layout. If the column has scroll bar, the behavior of the vertical alignment changes. You'd better set the vertical line to start, which is the default value. Otherwise, some of the widgets will be cut off. We have option to hide the scroll bar, but most of the time it should be turned on.
Now let's see the row widget. This is a container widget that helps organize elements side by side in a row horizontally. A row widget is like a single row. It has 12 column grids. All grids are equal size, and the grid size are calculated based on the widget size itself, as well as the gaps among the grids and the surrounding paddings. When you drag a widget to a row, it will snap to the grid, and the widget inside can span across one or multiple grids. Let's see how it works.
Row is another type of layout. You can drag a row into a page. The widgets in a row are organized horizontally. In a scrolling page, when you drag a widget into an empty area, the automatically created block is also a row. The padding has the same meaning as the column layout, and a row is split into 12 columns. The gap is the space between 2 columns. The 12 columns of a row are totally different from the column layout. They are used to measure the width of a widget. If you have several widgets in a row, it's very easy to make them with the same width. You can drag to resize them and drag it to change their order in a row. Here is an example of several rows. They may have 1, 2, 3, 4, or 6 widgets in a row.
Then, how can you organize content randomly? That is to use the fixed panel. Inside a fixed panel, you can place widgets randomly, just like pin sticky notes on a whiteboard. You can resize the widgets with absolute or relative position and size. Just a reminder that a 4-screen page, as we mentioned earlier, is just like a large fixed panel. If you don't use other structural layouts, things are just organized randomly. This layout is useful when you want to put some widget on top of another. Let's see the demo.
The fixed layout is a container where you can put a widget randomly. Are you familiar with the fixed layout? The first screen page uses this layout. It's especially useful when you want to add a widget on top of the other. Here is an example. The image takes the full size of the fixed layout, and a button is added on top of the image. Then we can add a text at the top left corner. You can change the style, like font size, color, and the background of the text widget.
Next, let's talk about the compound layout. Experience Builder provides several compound layouts. Sidebar is a kind of it. Sidebar consists of 2 fixed panels. That means the 2 panels are all fixed layout. And one of the panel is collapsible. And you can do this by clicking the collapse button. You can change the sidebar style to decide the dock side, whether it's the right to left or up to down. And you can also decide which panel is collapsible as well. Let's see the demo of Sidebar.
The sidebar is a compound layout. It has 2 fixed panels side by side. You can add widgets into these 2 layouts separately. Here I will put a list widget at the left sidebar and add a map at the right sidebar. You can decide which side can be collapsed. By default, the left side. You can make the right side collapsible. And also, you can change the direction the 2 sides arranged. You can drag the splitter to resize the size of the sidebar. We have an option named Overlay. If it is turned on, the collapsed side will be floated on top of the main side.
Next, I'd like to introduce Section. A section is a container that provides multiple views. It is like a stack of papers. You can show only one view at a time, but you can navigate different views with a view navigator. Each view can include a combination of any widgets. You can arrange elements randomly inside a section view. You can comprehend a section as a stack of fixed panels. Now let's see how it works.
Section is a compound layout. In a section, there are several views. Each view is a fixed panel. In order to distinguish from different views, I will set a background for it. You can add widgets into the view just as you add widgets to the fixed panel. Here I will add an image and a text into the view. change the style of the text to make it more obviously. You can add a new view or duplicate an existing view. The duplicated view has the same contents with the original one. Also, change the background of the second view and modify the label. Then add an empty view and add some widgets into it. You can drag the handler to change the order of the view. There are several ways to navigate between views. First is to use the arrows. You can change the size of the arrow, and with arrows you can navigate between views. The second way is to use the dot. Both arrow and dots are provided by the section itself. You can change the position of the dots. The third way is to use the navigation widget. The widget will list all views, and in live view mode or runtime, you can click the tab to change the view of the section. The section also supports autoplay. You can define a transition effect. Then turn on the autoplay. You can set the interval of the transition, and if the loop is turned on, the transition will be played forever.
Thanks, Jen, for the demo. Another important compound layout in Experience Builder is screen group. It consists of multiple screens. The screen is very different with the section view as the way it arranges content and navigate. While you have a group of screens, you view one screen at a time. Multiple screens are stitched to each other and you can scroll to navigate. Each screen has the main stage where the content are fixed. Each screen can also have a scrolling panel where content is scrollable. The screen group layout is only available at the scrolling page. As mentioned, in screen, the main stage will remain in place when you are scrolling. It disappears only when the full screen scrolls out. The content while in the scrolling panel is scrollable. It can float on a main stage or dock at the side. The scrolling panel is extendable, just similar as a scrolling page. The scrolling height of a single screen is based on the scrolling panel's content. Now Jen will explain more in the next demo.
Screen group is a complicated compound layout. It can be only added from the screen group template list. Each screen group has several screens. In each screen, there is a side panel and a main stage. The side panel uses column layout, and the main stage uses fixed layout. You can use the scroll bar to navigate between the screens. In the screen setting panel, you can set the background of the main stage. The scrolling panel has two modes, docked and floating. If you choose docked, the side panel and the main stage will be placed side by side, and you can change the direction of the side panel. If you choose floating, the side panel will be on top of the main stage, and there are 3 positions you can place the side panel. Also, you can change the width of the side panel and add some offsets to it. The padding has the same meaning as the column layout. You can add more screen from the screen template list and use the arrow to switch between screens. Okay, let's start to see how many screen group templates can we use. First is a cascade. There are 2 key concepts in the screen group. First is the transition effect of the main stage. Second is the trigger position. It means when the side panel touches the trigger position, the corresponding main stage will appear. Let's see the second template. The trigger position is 1/3 from the bottom, and the main stage effect is fade in. And the third is a flyer template. It uses a map as the main stage, and the side panel has 3 bookmarks. It has no effect in design mode, but in live view mode, when you scroll the screen, when the bookmark enters the trigger position, the map will zoom to the bookmark. Fourth is stream. The position is 1/3 from the top. Please notice the position of the side panel and the effect of the main stage. Next template is guide. The side panel is docked at the left side, and the main stage transition fade in. Next is a showcase template. The side panel is floating at the center of the main stage, and the main stage effect is cover the previous one. The slideshow template uses push effect. The main stage pushes away the previous one, and the side panel docked at the right side. The last template has no side panel. The main stage covers the previous one.
Next, composite layout. Previously discussed the simple and the compound layouts are actually the layouts component that Experience Builder offers. Based on that, you can actually combine any of them to a different layout. That means you can put one into another, and you may have the power of composite layout to organize your content. Let's see the demo.
The row, column, and the fixed are simple layouts. Their functionality are unique, but Composite makes them more flexible. Let me give you some examples. Let's add a sidebar to the page. As we know, sidebar uses 2 fixed layouts. We add a map to the right side, and the left side is a fixed layout. How to do if we want to use a column layout in the lefts? We can add a column layout into the fixed panel and make it take full size of the fixed layout. Then we can use the fixed layout as a column layout. We add a widget into it, duplicate it, and add some other widgets into the column. Now we have a sidebar with a column layout as the collapsed side. In a scrolling page, when we add a new widget, a block will be created. The block uses row layout. But how to use a column in the row? We can drop a widget at the bottom of the existing widget. A column will be created. Of course, you can drag a column into the row. Now we have a column in the row. You can edit the column and duplicated it multiple times. Now you get 3 columns in a row.
Next important concept is the widget size and the position settings. When you add any widget to a page, you need to consider the alignment with the page container, especially in a full-screen page and fixed layout. Each widget has size and position settings at the Style tab. You can decide its alignment by clicking on the sketch diagram and change the offset values. When dealing with the widget size and position, you have to understand the unit you use. There are 2 unit types in Experience Builder, pixel and percentage. Pixel is an absolute unit. When widget use this unit for its size and position, it is fixed and not responsive. While you can also use the percentage, this is a relative unit, means how much proportion the widget occupies in the parent container. So it is relative and responsive when the container size changes. Let Jen explain the details in the demo.
I will use the full screen page to introduce the units of a widget. First, let's add an image widget. A widget needs 4 values to determine its position and size: x, y, width, and height. And the x, y has its origin. When we move the widget, the origin may change. By default, the widget added to the panel uses percentage as its unit. If you want to change the unit, the value will be calculated according to the resolution of the current page. If you want to change the x value from percentage to pixel, you can click the percentage icon. The pixel value is calculated from the page width and the ratio number. Since there is a header, so before calculating the y, we should minus the height of the header. The way to calculate the width pixel is the same as the x value. And the height is the same as the y. I will give you another example. There are 3 columns in this page. In the center column, the first one all uses pixels, and the second uses percentage. The third uses pixel. They are all aligned well at this resolution. But when the page is launched, they are disordered. You will be even more confused when you resize the page. The highlighted widgets uses pixel, and they have the same origin, so they stayed at the same position. The bottom left widget uses pixel too, but its origin is bottom left. It's different from others, so it will move when you resize the page. Also, you should have noticed that the width and height of the widgets use pixel keeps the same, but the percentage units changes when you resize the page.
Now let's talk about the adapt mode of widgets' width and height. There are 4 modes you may see: custom, auto, stretch, and aspect ratio. Custom means you can set specific values you like. While in auto mode, The widget's width and height will automatically adapt based on its contained content. Stretch mode will let the widget fulfill the size of its container. That's the full width or full height. In some widgets, you may see another option, aspect ratio. When one of the width or height use auto mode, enabling this option will keep the ratio of width and height. Let's see the demo.
In a fixed layout, the default mode is custom. It means you can resize the image as you want. When you switch auto mode, the resize handler disappeared. What's the mean of the auto mode? Let's open the image to see its meta info. You can find the dimension of the image here. And then you switch back to custom mode. You can find out the real size of the image equals to its dimension. What if we switch to a much bigger image? Its dimension is about 2000 and 1000. When you switch to this image and turn the mode to auto, you will find the image takes full size of the fixed layout. And when you enlarge the resolution, the image still takes the full size. It's because the content in a fixed layout cannot exceed its boundary. Let's see another example using text widget. We copy some context into the widget and turn its height to auto. The height of the text widget will be determined by its content. If we cut off some text, the height will decrease. That's the mean of auto mode and custom mode. Then we turn to see stretch mode. When you turn the width to stretch, it means its width is determined by the left and the right, and the width will be flexible. When you change the resolution, the left and the right will keep the same value, and the width changes. This is a stretch example. When you resize the window, you will see the difference between stretch and custom width. The first one, its left and the width is fixed, and the second is stretched. Its right and left is fixed. The last one uses percentage unit. Now let's see the aspect ratio mode. When you set the width and height units to pixel, there's one option, aspect ratio. If it is turned on, the ratio of the width to height is fixed. When you change the one value, the other will be changed too. If you want to change the ratio, you should turn off this option. Then change the value of width and height. Then turn on this option again. Now you get a new aspect ratio value. In a column layout, the default width mode is stretch. It means it will take the full width of the column layout. When you change the mode to custom, you can resize the widget as you want. The default height mode is custom. It means you can resize the widget. When you turn the height mode to auto, the height will be determined by its content. You cannot resize the widget directly, but you can resize the column. If you change the mode to custom, also there's the option of aspect ratio. When you turn this option on, you cannot resize the widget, but you can resize the column. Then drag another widget into the column. Let's see what the stretch means. When you change the mode to stretch, it means this widget will take the available space of the column. Let's set a background for this image to see it more obviously. When you resize the first image, the stretched image will be shrinked or expanded. Then add another widget. When we switch the image to stretch, there's still enough space to show the widget. Then add another widget. Now the column has a scroll bar, and the widget, which mode is stretch, is very small. So keep in mind, when the column has scroll bar, do not set the height mode to stretch. In the row layout, there is no width mode. The width of the widget is determined by the 12 columns. You can resize to adjust the width. The default height mode is stretch. It means it will take the full height of the row. When you resize the row, the widget will always be the full size of the row. When you change the height mode to auto, its height will be determined by its content. When you resize the row, the height will not change. If you change the width, the height will be also changed. When you change the mode to custom, you can change the height of the widget by yourself. And also, there's the option of aspect ratio. If it is turned on, you can set the ratio of the height to width, and you cannot change the height by yourself. When you resize the widget, the height will also change. So what's the difference between auto and aspect ratio? If you choose auto, the height is determined by the content, and if you choose the aspect ratio, the ratio is determined by you. Now, the image widget has fixed aspect ratio, and the row has custom height. When you change the resolution, sometimes the height of the image exceeds the boundary of the row. So you can turn the height mode to auto. Then, when you switch the resolution, the row will fit the widget perfectly. When you resize the widget, the height of the row will also be changed.
Finally, let's talk about the responsiveness of layouts in different screen sizes. You can visit an Experience Builder app from any devices with internet. There are a variety of devices with various screen sizes on the market. So how Experience Builder app can respond to the devices? Experience Builder categorizes all screen size into 3 types: large, medium, and small. And Experience Builder provides most common sizes for each type. Large screen modes usually corresponds to desktop devices. Medium corresponds to devices like tablets. And the small modes are the sizes for the mobile devices. In Experience Builder, you can turn to different screen modes to view and adjust the app presentation in those screen sizes. Usually, when switching from large screen to medium or small screen, the layout and the content display may need adjustment for better rendering. Experience Builder provides 2 adjust modes, Auto and Custom. While in Auto mode, layouts are transformed automatically. Widget in fixed layout will be adjusted by scale if it uses relative size and position. A row of widgets will be transformed into column. Because of the limited space horizontally in the small screen, things will be transformed to organize vertically. While in custom mode, you can add your own touch to adjust the widgets manually. You may adjust certain widgets' position or size to fit the smaller screen. When you do customization in medium or small screen modes, Experience Builder app remembers the customization. So when you launch the app in a different screen size, it can be responsive. Let's see a demo.
In a fixed layout, if you switch to different size mode, the layout will be scaled up or scaled down. For example, when you launch the app, and if you resize the browser, the layout will be scaled up and down. It's very simple. If you want to change the layout in a size mode, you can click the Custom button. The widget is shared between all size modes, so if you want to delete a widget, there will be a warning dialog. If you choose to delete it, the widget will be deleted from all size modes. So we provide another option. You can pen in this widget, and then you can add a new image to replace the pended one. Then save the app and launch it again. When you resize the browser, you will find the image will be replaced in small size mode. If you don't like your customization, you can turn to auto again. For a row layout, when you switch from large mode to medium mode, the row is scaled down. But if you switch to small size mode, the row will be turned into a column. Let's start a browser and resize it to see what happened. When you resize the browser, the row first scaled down, then turned into a column. Now let's see how to customize a row layout. Last time we have showed you how to replace an image. Now we will change the layout. You can drag to change the order of the image, then save the app and run it again. This time, when you resize the window to small size mode, the cat image will be the first one. Different screen types has different responsive rules. We have 3 types of screen. First, with floating panel. Second, with docked panel. And the last has no panel. When you switch to medium size mode, the screen will be scaled down. When you switch to small size mode, the screen behaves differently. Let's launch the app to see it more clearly. When in large size mode, the screen behaves normally. The floating panel, the docked panel, and the no panel. When you resize to small size mode. The floating panel will take the full width, and the main panel keeps the same. For docked panel, the main panel stays at the top of the screen, and the panel scrolls at the bottom. The screen with no panel scrolls as normally.
If you are interested to learn more about responsive design in Experience Builder, we have another session that focuses on this topic. You may check it out. Finally, there are some resources you may take a look, and we look forward to your feedbacks. Thank you. Now let's move to live Q&A part. Please do not hesitate to raise any question about today's topics. Am I seeing myself? Hello?
Yeah, we are on now.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to participate this session. My name is Wei. I'm the product engineer for Experience Builder and the Web App Builder. And with me here is Jiansha, the product manager for both products. First of all, yeah, thanks again for attending. And we have received a lot of questions from you guys, and they are really great ones. But since this is a session about the layout and the style design, we will try to focus on those questions first, and then help you solve other questions as possible as we can. So let's get started. The first question is, what library are you using under the hood for the layout? Is this a Bootstrap or something else, Jiansha?
Okay, it's basically Experience Builder is built on React TypeScript component. So yeah, the main layout component we are using is React.
Okay, thanks. And the next question is, any device for creating Experience Builder app that will be embedded in an iframe that preserve responsive design on a mobile device?
Oh, that's a very good question. I think, for example, Experience Builder can be embedded in the hub, right? When you go to the mobile side, I am assuming Experience Builder will change to the mobile optimization, the design part. If that's not happening, that should be a bug. So I think it's supposed to be that way.
Okay. Next, do you have plans to add a tabs widget so that we can place widgets on the left-hand panel, for example, and the user can use tabs to navigate it?
Oh, that's a good question. So if you mean in the section view part, right now view navigation doesn't give you a vertical part, so you can put them on the vertical side. You can do so by using the button. So you're using each button, put them on the left, then connect button to each view to navigate views inside section. Another alternative is section itself support dot and the arrow navigation. You can turn them on as well. So give them a try. So but you have full control of the position, then using button.
Okay, thank you. And next, how is the view different from a page? Is there any advantage of using one over another?
Oh, that's a great question. So you see the view, as Jian mentioned, view is the fixed panel. You cannot do the scrolling down and up with the view, right? Page, you can have a fixed page, fixed screen page, or scrolling page. So from design perspective, there's a difference between view and page. Another one is behind the scene. Most of things inside the view will be preloaded. So you have 4 or 5 views, we preloaded everything, then display them. We call so loading page is loading asynchronously. You click each page, they're loading start right now. So on each page, but with that being said, in the view currently, we find out if you have 15 views containing 15 maps, sometimes performance is not there because the preloading really takes long time to be there. So we make some changes, depends on the content. Some of the content we preloaded, but some of them we don't. I think we will find out details. Maybe there's good documentation for that part.
Okay. Next, it will be very useful if there was an option to label the arrows for the sidebar, so user know what's hiding when it's collapsed. It can be done with existing tool, but it's quite clumsy.
Okay, that's good feedback. Then definitely we will provide to the dev team to see how we can enhance that from UI UX perspective. Yeah.
Next, can we choose the widget to be displayed only in web but not mobile, or hide it so it can be clean to be seen in the mobile view? Okay, I can take that question. Yes, you can customize your mobile screen size view of this app. Definitely, you can hide or add any additional widget to the mobile screen sizes. There's a session about this mobile optimization that you can check out with the coming days. And I think when you are trying to, one thing I want to point is when you are trying to remove one widget from mobile screen sizes, you just add it to the pending list. We have a pending list feature there. So it can keep up the widget in the backend, but it will not show that on the mobile devices. And you can also do other more customization for the mobile screen sizes. So if you have more questions or want to learn more, you are welcome to the other demo session about mobile optimization. Next, do we have dashboard templates?
That's a great question. Yes, in the upcoming April update, we are going to add chart widget and the chart query widget as well. So along with those, we will have dashboard style templates. And we have a few, frankly, we have a called monitor default template for the fixed screen. We also have other style for the page style scrolling dashboard style. So check that out in April 13. That's the planned release date.
Okay. Next, in the list widget, is there a way to set a different row height for the regular versus the selected states?
Great question. So basically, list inside the list is the card that using the fixed screen, fixed panel widget basically. So each card you cannot adjust the height based on the selection mode. You can do so to adjust the size of widget inside the card in each list, like text, image, button, and you can change the their size. Yeah, inside with the card on the list. No, we don't support that yet.
Okay. Next, is there a way to move or align the main panel in a screen group? I can take that question. So yes, we provided the screen group templates, but when you add any screen group template, you can add your own touch and do your customization. It's just the same way as you do for other widgets. And you can change the size and move around the position of the main panel as well as the floating panel. So, and also you can add more widgets into the screen group to do your own design. Yeah.
Let me add one more. So think about screen group. Really think about a section view. Screen group is a vertical section and view. So you can do anything in the section view. You should be able to do that with the screen group, background, main stage. You can add any widgets to the background main stage. You can add any widgets you like into the floating panel. So that's the flexibility. Template just gave you a preset behavior, scrolling behavior, but you decide which widget you want to be there. That's your choice.
Thanks. Another question, can you nest the screen groups into section views?
No, based on what we're saying, no, we cannot do that.
Yeah, basically they are an independent widget and just use a standalone, and also the screen group is just available in the scrolling page. The section can used everywhere.
Yeah, section view. Think about, we talk about section view is on the fixed screen, right? Inside each view, Jen mentioned in the presentation, each view is a fixed panel, so you don't have the scrolling part there. Yeah, that's a good question. If no, it's not available. Yeah.
Okay, I have another question for the layout. Let me see. Is that possible to link side-by-side columns so they can scroll together? When I think you're asking like two columns side by side, but you want to scroll them in the same time. So far, no, but this is really good idea or good question. I think we can consider that for the same action to scrolling the multiple columns, but so far there's no plan yet. Yeah. Another question is, can you display the resource screen again? Okay, I think under the session, you will find a link to the PowerPoint. So you can find the resources there. You can check out the link there.
I think this presentation will be uploaded to YouTube in the future, so you can check them out in YouTube as well. I don't know when.
Okay.
I will make those announcements on the GeoNet community once this video or presentation are available.
Seems there's no more layout specific questions. Now let's we can try to solve other questions. First, I think it's a popular question. Is there any plan about retire web app builder?
That's fantastic questions. So we have received a lot of such frequently asked questions. It depends on which version of web app builder you're using, right? So for online, we have no plan. If you're using online edition of web app builder, there's no plan to replace or obsolete web app builder. Both Experience Builder and web app builder will be running in parallel. For the enterprise version, if the web app builder hosted in enterprise edition, it depends on product life cycle of enterprise. It's usually the longer cycle of ArcGIS Enterprise is 6 years. Then web app builder will be there. So it follows the product life cycle of ArcGIS Enterprise. For developer edition, that's kind of a little bit different because it follows product life cycle of ArcGIS API 3 version. So currently, 3. version has changed their retirement date since December. So no longer a fixed retirement date for 3X version of JavaScript API. So once there's new version available, it will be retired in 2 years. Web app builder developer edition will follow the same product life cycle of JavaScript API 3.x. you may ask, what's the last release version of the 3.x JavaScript API? We don't know. I think we are continue working. I think the really main question is when we can reach the functional parity of Web Builder in Experience Builder. That's the time we may think about that, but right now it's too early for us to call. As you know, most of the widgets in Web Builder are not in Experience Builder yet.
Thanks, Jianxia. I think we, because we have limited time for this session, and you guys are really wonderful and raised a lot of great questions, but sorry, we cannot answer that all in this session. But you are really welcome to come over to ask our experts section there, but we will help you there. I think there are a lot of questions that is important to some of the users. So we will try to help you there.